What's up guys? We got a bit of a shorter video on this one, and if you're new to the channel, you're a first timer, welcome. And if you're wondering what the hell's going on, we're building a World Time Attack car out of this 2005 Lamborghini Gallardo that we picked up. We're going to give this thing a new life, and I think it's going to like it because it's going to be going really fast. So we are building a World Time Attack car out of it. In this video I just want to catch us up to speed with some stuff. So this week for me has been extremely busy with my concreting business and that. I've been trying to do a bit extra of that so I can get some money to get this thing moving along, because not monetized yet, but with all you guys, yous are helping me get there. We're nearly there, so thanks very much for that. So in this episode I just want to do some barn shed tour, because we're building this Lamborghini Time Attack car in a barn shed. So this was a barn shed. Even still today, the horses pop their heads in and say g'day to me. So, and they want to get in the shade because it's bloody hot outside. But this is what we got. This is our workshop. It's pretty open. Look, there's all opens up there, and the wind blows leaves in. Look, it's absolute mess. Forever cleaning leaves out. There's leaves in the race cars. Like, look at this, everywhere. Oh, and the dust, living out the bush. Pretty much in the middle of nowhere out here. So we're on 100 acres out here, just renting this property. We've been here for like 4 years. Oh look, there they are. So yeah, this car, this is what it's getting built in, alright? Just so you know. This is a high class facility, okay? This is top class race car building facility, okay? Can't get any better. Wouldn't have it any other way. Okay, so I just want to talk to you about some stuff, and what's coming up, because I knew this was coming, okay? So we're in a little bit of a pickle with the brakes. As you all know, there was a stuff up with the brakes and we're waiting for that. So what are we gonna do? Well, also coilovers, not quite sure how long that's gonna take. Hopefully only a couple of weeks or so. Not gonna hold my breath, but hopefully. So hopefully them guys can help me out a little bit, and we can get that happening, so we can at least, you know, if the coilovers rock up before the brakes, we can get the rear coilovers mounted. So we do have obviously the OEM mounting points here. So when we go to actually make our mounts on our wishbone here, because they're going to mount on the top, we're going to have to make a bracket for that coilover there. So what I need to know roughly, well, accurately I should say, from the guys building our coilovers, is we need to know our compressed weight. So the coilover length from the eyelets where they bolt. So we need to know, once a car, let's say it's 800 to 1,000 kilos wet, and we need to know that length, so then we can make that mount at the right length. So we'll set a wheel on, we'll get the ride height that we want, and then that way we can measure and get a mount mounted onto this wishbone. And that way, obviously when we bolt the coilover up, the ride height will be bigger, but then obviously when the weight comes down, then it'll sit at the right ride height. So we do need that data, we do need that information, because if we don't, well, we'll be doing stuff a few times to try and get it right. We can play around with obviously adjusting the ride height and you know, shortening, lengthening, but I'd rather just meet in the middle, get it right, and then we can, if we're slightly out a little bit, we can adjust it, but not huge drastic adjustments, okay? So that's what's happening with the suspension. We left off with that bottom bolt at the front hitting the wheel. Now I do have spacers on there as well, I forgot about. So because the thread, it's not the bolts that we're going to be using, so that's going to take off like 5 millimeters by itself there. So And then if we get that Allen key bolt, like I was talking about, obviously, actually here, look. See, we've got 2 big washers here, and then this big bolt. But I want to get an Allen key type bolt here, and then we can turn this down in the lathe to the right size diameter. It'll look a lot neater, and hopefully it will be shorter, so then it's not going to hit on our wheel. But like I said previously, it would be nice to run an 18-inch wheel, because I haven't got into looking at tires and stuff like that. Now, I did do a little bit of research with World Time Attack and that, and I just seen recently that they're allowing the pro class to run slicks. So, well, thanks to RaceX that we work for, might supply us with some Dunlop slicks, like they supply us with the Dunlop slicks for Crisis over here. So these are a really good tire. These are a soft slick, like a qualifying tire. So that would be cool to run them. So I'm pretty sure, Rod, if you're watching, you might help us out with some tires at World Time Attack. That would be great. Thanks, mate. Anyway, okay, so after all that, what are we going to do? Well, I did start an episode on the engine cover that I started to build, and it's all out of aluminum. Now, I haven't finished it, but I've got a rough sculpture of what I want. Now, it's quite heavy. It's like a 2-piece. I made it like a 2-piece. See, up under here, it's got like a skeleton, and it was all gonna be sanded and all nice, but it's quite bloody heavy for aluminum. So, plus if there's a little bit of body filler in there to smooth it out, well, that's just adding more weight, then plus paint. So, we don't want that. We want this to be light as can be. So, we're going to turn this into a mold. We are going to start making some carbon fiber parts. All right, so never done it before, but we're going to start, because if we don't start, when are we going to do it? So I think this would be, you know, a good place to start with building the engine cover. So the only thing is, when building a mold, is see how like under here there's like a void. Now if we make a mold out of this, we wouldn't be able to get this back out, so we need to build this so a mold can be pulled off it. So all these voids, there can't be any voids for any gel coat or the fiberglass for the mold can't go in there. So we're going to have to block off all these vents on the edges, the fins, so we'll put them on a little angle as well, so then that'll help pull that mold off. I don't see this being a problem, the big intake, big scoop. It's just all these little fellas. So I think that's what I'm going to do with this cover. I do have to extend this back all the way to the back of the car and stop it here, and then that way we can build our structure for the back, because we do have to build our whole rear end as well. That's going to be another job on its own. And then plus the whole front, I did briefly talk about what we're doing. In this video we can get in more detail, because we sort of don't have anything to fabricate and do right now. And also all day we haven't had power, come home, couldn't do any work anyway, so I thought let's do an up to speed video and let you know what's happening. So with the front, we're going to have to sort of do what we're doing with it. The engine cover there is build a structure. Now I'm got a supplier with some aluminum and stuff, fairly cheap. So I think we're going to build some aluminum panels and design the whole front end custom. It's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be very time consuming. It's It's going to be very difficult, but it will be awesome. So, and it'll be ours, one of a kind, okay? The Hondini. So that's sort of where we're at. So we got to start sort of doing some stuff to fill in, because we're waiting. We're waiting on our bits. So it's a bit of a shame, but it's not going to happen. It's just going to be, you know, about a month away or so. So we're going to have to start doing some episodes and videos on some other things. And I think we start with doing some carbon fiber. So we may have to build a little oven. I got an old container at the side there. I was going to turn into a big oven, because we were going to build a drift truck before the Lamborghini out of an F100 that I have. We were going to do a full tubular chassis, and yeah, like crazy. That will happen in the future, but obviously we got to finish. This is my dream car, so I really want to get this finished. But I was going to turn that container into a big oven and do all the body panels and stuff, and reskin the doors and the roof and the hood, all do carbon fiber. So, and we're going to do infused carbon, so make molds and then lay up the carbon, you know, flow mat and stuff, and infuse resin and vacuum all the resin into it, and then obviously put it in the oven to cure, and then pull the mold out, and then you've got a carbon fiber part. So I think we might build maybe a small oven, get Jake the chippy to knock us up an oven, and yeah, I reckon we start this. So Townsville, where I live in Townsville, North Queensland, is a bit of a small city and a bit of a country sort of city compared to everywhere else. Like, I mean, the people that live in Townsville probably don't think that, but it is a bit country and a bit outback and stuff like that. So I struggle to get suppliers for things, and I find that everything that I do, I struggle to get help with or information on, because it's all crazy weird stuff that I do, like types of filler rods for welding two different types of metal together, and things like that. Like, no one here knows or can sort of help, so that sucks. But lucky, if you want to know something, learn something, you've got the internet there, and obviously have to order online. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump on the net. I'm going to source out some bits and pieces, and we might get this into a mold. We'll finish this, get it ready to pull a mold off and start that process. So that'll be pretty sweet. Like, I reckon this weighs at the minute, oh shit, it would have to be, like 10 kilo, I reckon. This, I mean, that probably doesn't sound like a lot, but once you build like all this out of aluminum, like the whole structure at the back, it all adds up, you know, and the carbon fiber will probably be half of the weight. So I mean, you've got 10 kilos there. Let's say it'll be 5 kilos. The whole front, let's say the whole front end is gonna be like 100 kilos, you know. Well, there's 50, so roughly, I don't know, I'm not an expert, never done it before, but I'm just guesstimating. The doors too, we'll have to make a skeleton and make up our doors. Now, I've got a pretty cool idea with the doors. Obviously, I really want to keep this as Lamborghini as possible, but we're just slight changes. Maybe they're drastic changes. You can be the judge when it's done. With the doors, we're going to make a skeleton, obviously a frame. We're going to try and pull a mold off the inside here and do a two-piece door. So we'll make a mold for the inside, plus once we got our skeleton, we'll make a mold for the outside, and then them two parts will then mold together, and we've got a door. Now, with the aero side of things and the wheel, our wheel, we are going slightly wide, so I want to keep this door flowing in as tight as possible here to this main structure. So we're going to have this big opening here. Our fender will probably be way out here. Oh shit, here, where's the wheel? So we're going to get all that wheel well air out. So I might even have to make some carbon panels that come in here just to get all that drag out of our wheel well. So that'll be pretty cool to do as well. A lot of late nights, I think. But yeah, this build is going to take some time, but we want to do it properly. I told myself from the start, I do not want to rush this and do a shit job. Like Crisis, the BMW over there, I did rush that, but that was because I didn't have anything to drive and race at the time. I could have taken a lot longer to do some things, but at the end of the day, it's not really my dream car. It's my, you know, race car, and I'm still learning a lot to be a driver and stuff. So it's a perfect car. Like it does the job, and you could pick at it. You know, you could pick some things and say, oh, you know, that's not very good, and you know, that's not the best. And even I know that, trust me. But this, we're not going to rush it. We're going to do the best possible job, because this car is going to be on display in places. It is going to be at World Time Attack for all of you to come and have a look at, and I want you to appreciate all the effort and see all the details that I put into this. I know it's a race car, but I want it to look amazing. So that's where we're at. So I just thought I'd give you a bit of an update in this video. Obviously no fabricating or cuss words in this one, but yeah, yous are up to speed now, and yous know what's coming. So we'll just start the process and get some bits and pieces so we can start turning this into carbon fiber. If you haven't done so, hit that like and subscribe button to keep up to date. And thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Yes, I know, I gotta clean the shed. It's filthy. I'm gonna do that too.